Hi everyone, it's Nancy and I'm back with you to show you how I wrap a book, getting ready for the cover. So I start with a piece of paper that is 1 inch larger on 3 sides than the actual cover. So this cover that I'm working on right now is 6 by 6. So I want 1 inch over the top, 1 inch over the bottom, and 1 inch on the side. Get this out of the way for a second. And that will give me a piece of paper that's 8 inches by 6 inches. By 7 inches. 8 inches by 7 inches. So what I'm doing, I'm not wrapping the paper on the spine. I'm just putting the paper almost up to the spine, pretty close to the spine, and I'm going to bend the pages in towards the center of the book. Just bend them a little bit, help them out, and you're actually stretching the paper. So you got to be careful, and I'm using my finger. I don't want to use anything weird because I'm afraid it'll cut through the paper. Okay, now I'm going to do the same with the top. Stretching, carefully stretching. And I'm going to do the same thing with the bottom. I'm just carefully stretching. Okay, now I'm going to take this out, and now I know where I want my glue for the cover. So I'm going to put my glue within this space. I'm not going to touch any of these 1 inch seams at all. So I'm using wet glue again. I like wet glue. It sticks where you want it. And I'm using a Designer Dries Clear. Look at this poor bottle. I've had this forever. But what I do, Designer Dries Clear glue, you can only buy during the summer, well, not summer, during the warm months. So if you live in Florida or California, lucky you, because you can probably get it all year. But I don't. I live in the Midwest, and we can't have it shipped in the winter because the glue won't be any good when you get it. So they won't ship it. Designer Dries Clear people won't ship it at all to you in the winter. So anyway, I buy one of their giant large bottles that lasts me pretty much a year, and I just keep filling this little bottle over and over again. Okay, so pretty generous with the glue. And now I'm going to take my back cover and I'm going to lay that right where the glue is and right where I had my fold marks, inside my fold marks. And actually, I'm going to grab my little tool real quick. Hold on. I'll be right there. I'm running, kind of. I'm walking fast. I got it. Here I come. Okay. I'm back. Now I can really burnish this guy. Now, before I glue any of this on, there's going to end up being too much bulk in the corners. You don't want to do that. That makes it really sloppy. So, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to trim a little bit towards the point of the cardstock. Then I'm going to kind of turn the corner here and trim that off. I'm leaving a tiny, tiny bit of space in that corner, not space, red chipboard, red cardstock in that corner, because that'll actually make a nice, crisp corner when we're finished. So I'm going to do the same thing to the bottom. And you don't want to do too much of the corner, because if you do too much, of these big corners, the papers won't meet when you fold them, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to do this edge first, and I'm bending it again. And I'm going to glue. I've stretched the fibers as far as I can stretch them right now. I'm getting the glue as far into the edge as I can. Nice and generous with the glue. And then I'm going to fold it in. And I'm going to use, whoops, everything's falling. I'm going to use my little handy dandy tool and burnish that down. And then I'm going to take my bone folder and run it along the edge so I get a nice crisp edge on the end. Then I'm going to do the same with the top and the bottom, and you'll see how nice these corners look. So generous amount of glue, put it in the ridge. Lots of glue. Turn it over gently. And the nice part about Designer Dries Clear, see how it's oozing out right there? Yeah, well, when you take a little cloth or your finger and run that off, when it dries, a lot of glue will dry shiny, which I don't like. This glue does not dry shiny. It dries like it's never been there in the first place. So now my bone folder along the edge. Make it nice and crisp. And we're going to do the same thing on the bottom. I'm going to stretch that. Make sure it's stretched a little. Then glue. Lots of glue on the edge. The inside edge. The outside edge. Whoops. Outside edge on my craft mat. No, not really. I did that by accident. Okay, then I'm going to fold this over. I'm still stretching paper a little. Use my handy dandy tool. And now I want to show you, look how pretty those corners are. Aren't they nice? Beautiful corners. Run my bone folder along that edge, and that's how you cover a book. So when you're ready for the inside, you can actually do it the same way. I'm sorry, when you're ready for the spine, you actually do it exactly the same way we just did, and the front cover is done exactly the same way. The only thing I want to mention to you is it doesn't matter if you glue the top and bottom first or the side first. It doesn't matter. And see this in the corner? That's all going to be covered by paper, so you won't see any of this cut part. You'll see a little bit up here, but that's it. Anyway, whether you do the top and bottom first and then the side piece or not, however you do it, do the same way on the front. It looks so much nicer. So on this one I did the side first. On the front I would do the side first and then the top and the bottom. And then you can do your spine after that. So the front cover, the back cover, the spine, and you're set to go. You have a beautifully covered, professional looking book. Thank you. Bye.